Bro, my mic is messed up, man. Hello. Hello, welcome back to the daily iteration of programming. Let's see where we got up to last time, right? I think we made a window. I need to find out what path we're on right now. We're on desktop, yeah, so... Is it, C++? Oh, it's not even there. It's in the root directory, isn't it? So... I swear you weren't able to do ls before in command prompt. You had to do dir. Anyways, handmade, and then we got that. And we got... Alright, we do G++, obviously, got to do the cool thing. G++, Win32, boom. Object, main.exe. Good, no errors. Alright, start main.exe. And I believe we just got a window, yeah. So we got a window that actually crashes our system. We can't click any of the buttons. Our system... That's loud. 1 sec. Right, we made this window, which I can't even move. I can't even interact with it. So, yeah. Oh, I just closed it. I didn't mean to close that. I shouldn't have closed that, man. Oh my. Right. Discord ping. Forgot about that. Whoa, what's going on here? 7 new messages in the Discord. That is rare. Enum. I think the only way to enter the job market as a programmer is to bullshit a resume. I like waffle. That cover letter would work. Right.
About this, but at the risk of somebody like about this, looking at this and doing the wrong thing, maybe we'll just do it like this, just even to start off on the right foot. But like I said, we won't actually be using this in the future. It looks like I've got a... Oh, I did it again. I said I would never use Miratory 4 on the stream. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. All right, there we go. There's our for statement. So we are going to go ahead and take a look at get message here. It's funny that it says bool, but it says it can return a -1. It's kind of fantastic, right? Yeah. What are you going to do, ladies and gentlemen? But basically what we'll do here is we'll say this is the message result that we're going to get. Back it comes. And then we will check on the message result to make sure that it is above 0.
Wait a second. We've got 2 people in the chat. Got 1 like. And no one said anything. People talk. I want to know who's in the chat. Who's there? Who is stalking the live stream but not talking?
If it is above 0, then we will handle it. Otherwise, we will break out of our loop here and exit. So that should be fine. Now I'm curious to know what they actually define bool to be. They must define it to be a integer type of some kind, because if bool was really only a boolean somehow, which it obviously can't be because that wouldn't probably work in old school C, but if that was a boolean of some kind, then we would not be able to test it for a negative value. So I'm assuming that's an int. I guess we don't need to look it up right now, but point being, I'm assuming bool is actually some kind of an integer that they define there. All right, so we are going to check here. If we get this, then what we have to do is we have to tell Windows to actually translate and dispatch this message. Now, this is total Windows minutia.
Right. I'm going to see how much I remember from the previous learning video. So main window callback returns L result, which is just a long pointer. Get handled to the window unsigned integer message, which is like it's not a message that we as the user give it. It's a Windows specific message, like for example WM size when you resize the window, destroy close when you press the X, activate app when you like click on it, when you go like that, click on an app. And this default, I'm not sure we need it. I think he said this was an optional thing. Hello, Just Prince, Magic Man Spud, what's up? How you guys doing? Right, and then go int callback win main. It's the equivalent of int main, because this isn't a console application, this is a Windows application. We need to use win main as the entry point, and it takes in these 4 parameters: the handle to the instance, to previous instance, long pointer to the command line, and then int showcode, which is essentially, if you go to properties, can the stream see this? The bit rate's a bit bad, but yeah, it's fine. So this run tab here, this run section, normal window, minimized or maximized, that's what this showcode parameter changes and modifies, right? This normal mode, minimize, maximize, that's what it does basically. If I understood correctly. Next, we got window class. We're initializing a window class, and then we're just changing the style to it. I'm not sure what these do. I forgot. Main window callback, that's just like a reference to that's a copy of the function. We're assigning this long pointer window procedure to the function which we made. That's it, right? So this function that we made, we're assigning that to the Windows function. And yeah, what was it? This is the name of the actual window title, I believe. No, this is the name of the window title. This is the name of the class. Right. That's the window handle. So that's the actual white box we see on the screen. Yeah, now we're just processing the messages. Good, how about you? I'm good as well, thanks. Hello, Craft from Zen. What am I making? I'm currently learning the Windows API, as you can see up here. Just learning the Windows API, that's it, man. Essentially. You're supposed to be studying for a quiz. What's better? What's more efficient use of your time? Watching Code Gib or studying for your test? I think I know the answer to that one, my friend. Code Gabe is on top of the priority list. And Linux, query C, welcome. Welcome, welcome.
Basically what it does is translate message is a thing that turns keyboard messages into more proper keyboard messages. We do not have to worry about this at all right now, but we will have to think about it a little bit later because basically what we have to do is we have to field keyboard messages in the future, and we will want them to be translated properly. Now, for games, it may never actually matter, but I'm going to stick that in there anyway. So ignore this for now. It's a thing that basically takes a message that came in off of the message queue, does some processing on it, and gets it ready to actually send it out. So here we go, back to dispatch message, the function that will actually send messages to windows that have them. And you can see it's just a thing that, again, actually dispatches the message. Now, these things technically return error codes, but we have no way of actually handling the.
Wait a damn minute. So, Boolean get results. This bool, this custom Boolean type, it can return -1, 0, or 1. So like he said earlier, it's not really a bool because it can have 3 values. Right. Get message. If it's more than 0, so if 0 is like, it means everything's fine. If it's not 0, then crap happened or something happened.
Message. Now,
right. Translate message into readable format, I think. And then we got dispatch message. Get the reference to the message variable. Why is that so loud? That is loud as hell, man.
these things technically return error codes, but we have no way of actually handling the error codes. If Windows did not want to dispatch one of its messages, there's nothing we can do about it. So there's probably not much point in actually checking these. We could exit the application, but that seems like a little draconian just for failure. So I'm not sure what we would do there. We could log it. Maybe we could log it in the future, but I don't really even know if that's necessary. So this will go ahead and loop forever until we get back something other than a positive result from get message. Let's go ahead and compile that. We have some undefined errors.
Let's see if I get an error. Oh, I didn't save it. I didn't get any compilation errors. So it seems like I'm better than the guy who made the video. It's actually letting me move the window now and resize it. It didn't let me do that beforehand. Whoa. What happened there? So the only difference is that we added this 2 bits of code, translate message and dispatch. So if I comment it out, we're not going to get the same result. Yeah, see, I can't actually resize the window. I cannot move the window. The window is stuck in place and it's currently loading, right? It's stuck. As you can see, my cursor is just that arrow. You're eating pouffelettes. I think that's the cutest thing I've seen this entire day. That is the cutest thing I've heard this entire day. I gotta see that, man. Oh shit. Nah, my microphone just died, man. Linux, post that in the chat. Oh shit. Post the pouffelettes in the chat. I wanna see. should be good now. You devoured le poufoulet. Le poufoulant. Man, I miss poufoulets. I haven't had it in such a long time. Okay. My... No way they got it in Tesco. Fuck off. They have it in Tesco. Since when? This is news to me, man. Some news, man. I love how it says .ro. Oh, right. It's the English version. Fair enough. I was gonna say this entire website's English. It's making me hungry. Anyways.
Undefined code there in CSU's default. So for some reason that was not there. Why? So I got that straight out of create window, did I not? So I wonder why that was not recognized. Did I spell it wrong or something? Let's find out. So I wanted to pass C. Oh, it's CW. I used class style. That's.
What? He made an error and I didn't make the error.
Up in here for CS. I was like CS owned to C. This is CW, which is I guess for window, create window. Let's say. I don't know. Who knows how they name things, but they name them. So there we go. And if we go over,
This don't make sense. He's getting errors and I'm not. I've got the same code as him.
here and run our program. Well, I've got to unset that breakpoint first, but you will notice that we finally have a window on the screen. There is our lovely window. And if we go over here and look at the debug output, you will see that we got our window messages.
I do not actually see the output tab. And that's because I'm running it on Windows, on the command prompt. Oh, we're back to this again. Oh, I didn't recompile it. Fair enough. Yeah. I forgot to compile it again. Okay, now it's going to let us resize. There it is. But I do not get any messages. It's fine. It's fine.
There they are, activate app, WM size, and that was because as I go ahead and drag around in here, I'm generating tons of WM size messages. If I click on this, we will get the WM close message, as you can see, and we will never get a WM destroy message no matter what we do, because that would have to come basically from something that was going to forcefully try to close the window. Normally we would be calling that ourselves. So there you go. We have a window on the screen. So now what we would like to do, obviously, is we would like to draw something to it, just to prove that we finally have a window that actually has something on it. And the way that we can do that,
I'm going to try find the function myself. Excuse me, mate. Begin paint, end paint. Yeah. We need begin paint and end paint.
is we can field a message called WM paint. So inside
Okay. So we got here case WM paint. Boom.
WM paint, there we go. we are going to use that DC thing that I was talking about. So basically, what we can do inside WM Paint is we can go ahead and ask Windows to allow us to paint to our window using their graphics API, because on Windows, if we're painting to a window, we have to use it. And so what they have is they have a thing called Begin Paint and End Paint, which allow us to say we are about to
That's what I said.
update our window. Here it is, right? And then we are going to go ahead and use End Paint to tell it when we are done. So here we go to end. Oops, it was right there. You can just click on it. End Paint, there it is. So we are going to go into End Paint.
Handle.
There we go. And we're going to pass that window handle that we got here. We're going to pass our window handle. We are going to pass the address of a paint struct. Right?
So we need to create a paint struct because we don't have one yet. LP paint struct. So we'll just make that LP paint struct. Yeah. Does it want? We can just pass it through, it's fine.
All right. Let's see. Paint.
I'll see what this guy calls it.
That it can fill out
Paint, okay.
for us, and it is
He passes it as a reference, but I'm not sure if you need to do that.
going to return one of those contexts for us.
It will return a HDC context, which is what? Don't know.
One of those device contexts. So let's take a look at the documentation of that, so we understand.
Oh, all right. So it's a handle to a device context. Okay. Okay, good, yeah. So we got, where is it? Fills the clipping region in a device context with a pattern. We're going to need all of these functions at some point.
Understand what's going on. Inside Begin Paint, we pass it the window that we are trying to paint, right here, right? The handle to the window to be repainted. And we pass it a pointer to one of these paint structs, which is another one of these structs that Windows uses to pass information back and forth. It's passing it out to us this time. So what it's going to do is it's going to fill this out with a bunch of information that we need, such as a rectangle structure, which tells us where we need to paint, a thing which says whether or not it should be erased, this sorts of stuff, whether it's an incremental update, those sorts of things. We're not allowed to test those. Those are internal to the system, as you can see here, labeled that way. But we are going to go ahead and field that in a relatively straightforward way. So we're going to do that, and then End Paint, of course, just takes the window and the paint struct back so that it knows which.
Forgot about that. Forgot about the End Paint function. So we got hand to the window, yeah, and then this again. Oh yeah, you do need the reference because it's got the pointer symbol there. Makes sense. And I don't believe it returns anything. Oh, it returns a boolean, but Windows version of a boolean. Begin Paint. What does that return? Oh, that returns a handle to device context. So if it's just a boolean, we'd only use that for like for logging of some sort. So what does he call it? He didn't call it anything.
It's basically to close off the paint. There we go. So all we are going to do.
Okay, he doesn't actually store it in a variable, but I think I might as well. Like, why not? It will get deleted when it exits out of scope anyway. So, and End Paint results. Sick. Fucking hell, you will be doing Vulkan next week. Bro, I'm going to be developing the next Rockstar Games engine, man. Solo.
Is we are going to do a.
How you doing, JTag?
A patblit. A patblit is a function which basically just tells Windows, it's sort of a graphics utility, which basically tells it to do blackness or whiteness or do some kind of another bit operation.
I'm gonna be honest, I heard nothing what he said in the past few seconds. I was literally daydreaming. Let me restart.
Do is we are going to do a patblit. A patblit is a function which basically just tells Windows, it's sort of a graphics utility, which basically tells it to do blackness or whiteness or do some kind of another bit operation to things. So we just want to fill our window with white for now. That's going to be a very simple thing for us to do just so we can see that we are painting to our window the way that we want to. Okay, device context passes the device context that we're painting with. It takes the left.
Let me do it without his help. Pat's beer. Okay. It does not exist, my friend. Not bad, mate, ain't you? Bro, my dad, he's got a fever right now. He's got like a temperature. And I'm worried he's going to give it to me. And because of that, I made him go in a different room from me. Like, if he takes away my ability to go kickboxing, I'm going to beat his ass. So I got the function here. Returns a boolean. I don't think we need to store that. I got HDC, so a handle to device context. We will just put device context there. Yeah, man. Well, downstairs, that's where all of the fun gadgets are. And in my room, I've got books. I've got books. Like, he wants to read books. You know what I mean? Right. Int X, int Y. Wow, Microsoft. These are the most descriptive parameters I've ever heard in my life. Insane. Let's just do 50, 50, 50, 50. And we need a D word, rope. Oh, it actually says here what it is. My bad. Rope, raster. No, we got rasters encoding. Raster. The raster operation code. This code can be one of the following values. Blackness, whiteness. Yeah, I want blackness. I love blackness. Okay. So, yeah, we'll do that. You hate Windows 32 API, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done, man. It's got to be done. I'm going to check this out, right? Raster graphics. Yeah, but Rastafari. Rastafari. Got Rastafarian in the Windows 32 API. Does anyone know what Rastafarian is without searching it up? Say in the chat. Push trees. Exactly. I mean, again, for fail-safe purposes, we could assign it something to check if it failed or not.
The size of the window, right?
Let's see if it does anything so far. So, paint. Yeah, so it black. Yeah. It should just paint the entire window. Ooh. Ooh. Oof. Why does this, man? Why does this, man? So there's a problem with something here. Let's do it one by one, see what's the error. Aha, so you're the error, you cheeky bugger. You cheeky bastard. Begin paint. What did I do wrong? HDC device context. Begin paint. It takes a window, yeah. With handle, yeah. LP paint. Paint struct. That's what I did. LP paint struct. Oh, wait a second. I don't think it wants a reference to it. I don't think it needs a reference to it. Let me try that again. I fixed it. Wow. I'm actually becoming a better programmer. A better debugger. I can't believe I fixed it. Fuck, I got another error. LD return 1 exit status. Oh, it's because I didn't end the paint session, that's why. I need to keep my mouth shut, man. Okay. Okay. Let's sort this out, mate.
Right, which we already actually, well, we do know what it is. I'll show you what it is in a second. And then eventually it takes a flag that says, sorry, a value. These are constants, right? Whiteness, blackness, DST invert. These are constants defined in the windows.h and sorted header files that tell Patblit what kind of fill it should do to the rectangle that we are going to specify. Now, what is the rectangle? Well, fortunately for us, we actually know what the rectangle is because we
have assigned it a default value. Here, use default. I think.
got it
That's my guess.
back from begin paint.
Okay, my guess was completely wrong.
Remember when I said inside begin paint, there was this paint struct here. And this paint struct basically tells us what we need to know. The RC paint, if you go down and look at the documentation for that, is a rect structure that specifies the upper left and lower right corners of the rectangle in which the painting is requested, right? So we basically have in here, after we do that, we have a rectangle. We can go paint, RC paint, like that, and we can access its members. Now, what are the members of a rect? They are what you might expect. The left, the top, the right, and the bottom positions of that rectangle, right? So min and max on X and Y. Again, don't worry too much about coordinate systems. We'll be covering them in the next stream, or approximately even the stream after that. And they are longs, which are just yet again another definition for int. Windows has a ton of definitions for integers, depending on what size they are or what exactly they correspond to. But these are basically just integer values, as we will see when we step into this code. So when we did patblit, let's go back to patblit. When we did patblit, oops, that's the one we actually want. There it is.
I gotta say, I like that he's actually talking about the subject and not waffling about something else for once.
It needs a left, it needs basically the left, the top, and it needs the width and the height. But we didn't have the width and the height. In our rect structure, we have the right and the bottom, which are maxes. So we have to subtract right from left and bottom from top to get that width. We want to see how big those are. So we're going to have to do that, right? We're going to have to do bottom like this.
Okay, before he continues, I need to check my code. HDC device context is begin paint window and then a reference to paint. But giving it a reference is actually what caused me an error, so it's a bit weird. Ooh. Maybe we weren't supposed to compile it yet. I think that's the problem. I compiled it too early. Pat BLT.
minus top, right? And we're going to have to do right minus left.
So this statements helps us. Well, it gives us the width or half of the width and length of the screen, something like that. And then we got so paint.rc paint.left minus right minus, yeah, because we go from right to left, yeah. Paint.rc paint.left, and then we can stick these values into the pat blt function
in order to get those widths and heights.
Yeah, width and height. So I'm curious, what is the difference between normal long and long? Oh. Oh, so they just made a type def. Long to long. I wonder why. Yeah, Handmade here is pretty decent. It's outdated by today's standards, and he's showing how to build games in the old school way, but it's still good. Yeah. I'm not gonna stick all the way until the end. It's quite a long series, but I just want to get the basics out of the way, and then I can go do my own stuff.
That we wanted, right? Oops, backwards. Height is going to be that one, and width, right? And then we already know what our x and y are, right? Because we already know that our x is this. And you know what? Should probably pass the ones that Patblit wants. Those are longs in there, but they're defined as ints here, so we might as well convert them out to ints. Like I said, Windows has so many definitions for ints. It's kind of a rat's nest, and most of it's historical at this point. But what are you going to do? We have the x and y for the rectangle that we want to paint. We have the width and the height, so we can go ahead and do it. Width, height. There we go. Nice and clean. See how we compile. Patblit. Well, we know how to deal with this, right? I taught you in the last stream. If something...
Stop. Shut up. You're going too fast. Left, yeah, so that gets the... coordinate system, it's a bit different, I think, with the Windows API. Or it might be normal. 0, 0 is the top left. And then the bottom right is the max width and height, I think. But then why would he do left? RC paint.left would just return 0. And RC paint.top would just return 0 as well. But it obviously doesn't. That's why we're storing it in values. The x coordinate increased to the right, and the y coordinate increased from top to bottom. Some coordinates are used to specify the position of the screen, with the origin at the upper left corner. Yeah, so upper left is 0, 0. So why are we storing 0, 0 in coordinates, in values? Yeah, 0, 0 is top left. But then why are we storing it in an x variable? It's 0. Why do we need to store 0 in a variable?
If an import symbol is not defined,
Let's see. Damn.
go down to the bottom here. We take a look at who it was, and we grab that library. gdi32.lib is what we need for Patblit. So we are going to go into our build.bat and stick it on the end. There we go.
That's a lot of error messages.
Compile and done. Now when we
Right. Oh. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Look at my paint struct versus his paint struct. I put LP. Now, look, the reason I did that is because begin paint, right? That takes in as the second parameter LP paint struct. So I don't know why on earth he's giving a paint struct without the LP. You know what I mean? All right. Yeah, LP paint struct is a pointer, so you need to use that symbol instead of dot to access its members. All right. Ah, right. So it's like two different ways of doing the same thing. I understand. Thank you so much. Okay. Hello, Jamie. Today we're trying to fix errors. I've only got one error left. So L result, boom, boom, boom. Expected your mom before this. Oh, it's because I didn't input the parameters. My bad. So let's see. What does it want? It wants X, Y, width, and height. So let's put in X, Y, width, height. Right. So I think that should work now. Does anyone know what the hell's going on? Oh, undefined reference. Okay. Clearly, I am missing a library. Clearly, I am missing a library. Cracked coding, yeah. Why using Visual Studio but compiling with GCC on a separate terminal? Because I feel like it, honestly. And it's not GCC, it's G++. So I need to get gdi32.lib. But how to include a library when compiling with this guy? So the L flag. Okay, so let's try this out then. L flag, boom. No way, it worked. It worked. Okay, we got half the screen black, half the screen white. That's exactly what we wanted. Good, because we got half the width of the screen. So half of it is black, half of it is white. How is that racist? Ah. I support blacks and whites. That's why I got one side black, one side white. Segregating the colors. You silly Billy. Look at that. There's no white anymore. The black ate up the white. What would you say about that now, huh? What would you say about that, buddy? No more whites. Chest is racist. Chest is racist. Like, if you're white, you just get start first, man. If you're born white, you get to start first. Now that's proper racism. They should have done it where they should have chosen who gets to go first with a dice roll like you do in backgammon. Okay. So
run, we should You should see a white window, ladies and gentlemen.
Now he got a white window because he put whiteness and I put blackness because he's racist and I'm not. You know what I mean? I support both sides. So. Let's try that again. Wow, there's so... Oh, don't tell me I closed my command prompt. Oh, I'm such a bastard, man. Right. Look at this racism. Look at this utter racism. The blacks eating the white side, man. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Blacks dominating. Who's gonna win the race? Oh. Oh no, black's retreating. Why is black retreating? Oh, it seems like white's gonna win this one. Oh no, black's speeding up ahead. Oh. Can't even close the window, man. Handmade Hero has been coding his game for 10 years. Where game? It doesn't exist, man. It's gone. I think bro gave up. He gave up at some point, didn't he? I was considering buying the source code, but then I was like, what am I thinking? Why on earth would you buy source code? You can just pirate it. Allegedly. Handmade Hero is currently on hiatus. There's your answer. What are you doing? I'm doing Windows 32 API.
Pretty nice, huh? It's lovely. Totally lovely. Absolutely fabulous.
Handmade Hero.
That is the best white window that I bet you I've ever seen. Now, just to prove how awesome we are, because you know that we are, why don't we do something absolutely ridiculous here? Why don't we just do, sometimes we'll paint it with black, and sometimes we'll paint it with white. Because there was blackness, and there was whiteness, right? So what I could do is I could look at Patplet here, go up here, and this is just a little amusing diversion. That's a D word that it wants as the last thing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our D word, which is our operation. We are going to assign it to whiteness, right? But I'm going to use the static keyword. Now what the static keyword is normally every variable is local to us, right? Every variable is local to where we defined it. Remember I said these blocks, these braces, the variables are local to us. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to say, you know what? I want this variable to persist. I want you to create it, and then I want it to stick around. So that when I come back through here, it will actually be set to whatever the value was the last time we ran this thing. So it's basically creating permanent storage, essentially a global variable. It's almost like we were to declare it out here as a...
Handmade Hero is talking. The worst opinion you have ever heard is quickly approaching. Thanks for the heads up, Jamie.
Global variable, but unlike a global variable, it is locally scoped to this area in terms of lexical. Like it's lexically scoped, meaning that we can't refer to it anywhere else. So it keeps it kind of contained, but it is global. Now, I never, ever, ever, ever use these. They're a very, 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 very bad idea in code that I actually need to ship. But I always use them when I am debugging. because it's very handy to be able to stick something in really quickly that is there. And this is exactly what I'm doing right now. I just want to debug something to make sure that we are actually painting our window every time. So I'm going to use one now. But I never use these basically because they create nightmares for thread safety and all sorts of other stuff. So we will see a little bit more of that later, but don't do this willy-nilly. This is something I'm only doing right now for debugging purposes. So basically,
So he's saying you should never use the static keyword. It's a part of the language. You should obviously use it. Don't know what bro's talking about there.
what will happen is the first time we come through here, when you see this static, what it will do is it will initialize operation to whiteness, but the rest of the times through it will not initialize it. Only the first time through will it initialize it to whiteness. The rest of the times it will just leave it at whatever value it was. So what that means is we can, every time we go through here, after we do this clear like this, we can go and say if the operation was whiteness, right? Remember the if statements from our intro stream. We can then set it to blackness. And if it was not equal to whiteness, we will set it back to whiteness, which will basically create a toggle. So when it comes through here and it's set to whiteness, it'll turn to black. When it's set to black, it'll turn to white, and it'll toggle back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Right? Good. We hit run. We get our white window, which is what we expect. We then drag it, and there.
Yeah, I remember doing this. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say seizure warning. I'm gonna get sued. Yeah. Epilepsy warning. A bit late. There's probably someone dead in the chat right now. Guy's been working 10 years on the game, but let's listen his opinion like he's worth something. Come on, man. It's a good learning resource. Apparently. But the thing is, it only does it to half of my screen. I don't want that. I want all the screen. How do I turn this off again? How do I close it? Help. Okay, that's it. Spamming Control C enough times fixed it. So XY.
There we go. Don't know if the stream can keep up with that, but we are basically creating a.
So right minus left, yeah, and then bottom minus top. X is left, Y is top. Why is it only affecting half of my screen? Is my screen too big? Is my 2K curved monitor too big for the window? XY, XY. What did I do wrong? XY with height, with height. Ah, I know I did wrong. Okay. That's fixed now. Let's try that again. No, it should affect the entire screen. Good, that's it, right. Good. And now when I expand it, it's going to look like a horror movie. No, it won't. Okay. Well, it used to look like one. Anyway, if you want to make like an epileptic malware, ooh, that's good. That's good right there. You know what? I'm really willing to sell this application for £50 a pop. Yeah. Yeah. I could sell this as like a fake QR scanner, QR code generator. Oh, my eyes. My eyes. My eyes, man. Ship it. Okay, Control C is no longer working. I think I just made a virus.
Epilepsy window.
A bit too late, mate, to say that. You've already killed a quarter of your viewer base. What? Yo, my app doesn't even show up in Task Manager. Oh, it does. Main.exe. Okay. I thought I just made a virus there by accident, like a epic malware. Undetectable malware, even by no set.
To demonstrate when we are redrawing the window. Pretty good for one night's work at only an hour. So hopefully that is enough to tide you over till tomorrow, when we will field these messages a little more appropriately, and we will actually create a bitmap that we can blit to our window, which will take it up to the point where we can actually start to use it to render our game, which is what we need. So I hope that was a good enough, quick introduction of how to get a window onto the screen. Within the space of an hour, there's only so much.
Thanks, buddy. Where's day 3? I just realized we are so close to 400 subscribers. We are so close. Five, 6 subscribers away. I'm gonna do something massive for the 400 subscriber event. I'm probably gonna shave my head again. Who knows?
Okay, welcome everyone. This is the third day of the test stream here, where I am sort of practicing to make sure everything's working properly, and so that everyone can give me feedback on how the streams are going in preparation for Monday's start of Handmade Hero. And so what
because remember, I make the Rockstar launcher.
Wanted to do today, if you remember where we left off, I was just showing you some assembly language and starting to talk about what the C code was actually doing. Today, I hope will be a pretty exciting stream. I am hoping that that basically this will kind of start to tie things together. Because what I've done in the past 2 streams is I've kind of had to throw a bunch of stuff at you and sort of give you the general idea and hope that a lot of that stuff kind of sticks. But I haven't been able to really get to a coherent sort of model that you can use in your head, because I needed to kind of get some things out there first. There's so many things involved in a program that it's kind of hard to...
Wait a damn minute. We got Black Friday on Steam. I need to check what's up. GTA 6. Oh, it's not even on Steam yet. Yeah, it's on Xbox though. All right.
To really start from scratch in that sense, you kind of have to give you a little bit and then go back and go, okay, now that you've sort of seen some things, let's actually talk about it. So what I wanted to talk about today, finally, was memory. because memory is actually the fundamental thing that we work with in
memory.
programming.
Yes.
And the reason that I say that it's very fundamental is because even though
Who's this guy? Sent me a friend request.
nowadays in higher level languages we start to work with abstractions and things like this where we're not really thinking necessarily about the memory that we're using or what it's doing. The important thing to remember is that a CPU itself, the thing that we are actually programming, and a GPU for that matter, if you're working on a graphics card, those things are all about taking in memory, modifying them, and putting them back out to memory. This is true to such an extent that actually anything that you want to do, I don't care if it's audio or video or things that seem completely unmemory-like, they are actually all just about putting things into memory where other things can see that memory and use it. So if I want to do graphics on a graphics card and there's all this hardware,
you can't do graphics on a graphics card because the manufacturers don't allow you to access it. It's like proprietary.
In there that's designed to turn things into images that go out on, even an analog, old school to a CRT or something where there was no digital transmission even. Everything that happens up to that point is about putting the right stuff into memory so that that hardware component can read the memory and turn it into the proper electrical signal to produce a picture on a television or something
100%.
like that, right? So fundamentally, programming always comes back to understanding what is happening with the CPU and the memory. What is the
100%.
CPU doing to change that memory and how? And that is the basis for all of the design of the code that you should do. You should be thinking about that because that is what you are doing at a core level. That's the basis of all the optimization of the code you will do. And it's the basis of all the debugging that you will do. Because absolutely everything at the end of the day is a CPU instruction that changes some memory.
Yeah, fair
so
enough.
nothing that you ever do, no matter how abstract, can ever really get away from the truth of the matter, that it is all about modifying memory. And so there are definitely
It's all about changing a value in RAM.
abstractions that help us, and we will be doing a lot of abstracting as we go, where we start to think of things at a higher level than just each individual bit and how it's being set. But if you lose sight entirely of the fact that it is all about that.
Wait one sec. This just gave me an idea. Let me just hide that underneath the stream. That was it. This is not funny. It's not funny. Oh, the lyrics isn't there. No lyrics, man.
You
It's too
start to
bad.
go very wrong in the way that you design and implement things because you start to think of things in terms of their efficiency for the abstraction. And if you start to think of things in terms of the efficiency for the abstraction, that is what leads to slow code. It's what leads to buggy code. It's what leads to things that I don't really consider to be very good software. And it's why I don't like when people sort of divorce themselves from an understanding of what happens on the computer. Now, if someday someone develops a machine that can execute abstractions somehow, then great. We can all learn how to program abstractions and that'll be good. But until that day, I think it's a fundamental part of every programmer's job to understand exactly how the machine works. And, you don't have to get crazy with it. I don't pretend to know everything that happens in an Intel CPU because, oh my God, they are fantastically complicated. So
Exactly,
yes,
Jamie.
just like you'll never know all of the
Exactly.
things you need to know about math or all of the things you need to know about anything in particular that's related to programming, you'll never know everything. The point is to educate yourself enough that you have an idea of the things that you need to know. You have an idea of how
Jamie, this is the CBD you're looking for. CBD with no hemp.
How to drill down further into them when it's necessary, and you have enough understanding to know how deep you should understand things for any particular purpose. And so today I really want to kind of open that up and start to talk about exactly what's happening in the memory for the limited piece of C code that we kind of worked through for the past 2 days. So if you remember correctly, we had our little entry point here that went...
Wait, what? Where's all the code gone? Oh no, I just realized we're not even on the series anymore. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I completely messed up right now. I accidentally went on his C series instead of the Handmade one.
That's really...
And I just want to say something really funny real quick, right? Can you even see it? Yeah, you can, right? Here. He does a Q&A for the first 2 videos. But since it takes so long to make those Q&As, he literally just stopped. There's no Q&As after that. It's simply working.
Really critical.
Right.
All right, we are ready to start here. Look at that timer. Stream begins now. Ladies and gentlemen, the timer actually worked. All right, so I wasn't that sick last night, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Welcome to day 3 of Handmade Hero. I'm a little bit sick and I apologize, but I have some cough drops here. So I am going to try to get by. We'll see if I don't need them, I won't use them because I'm afraid they might make some weird sounds with the microphone, but we'll see what we can do. All right, let's get started. If you remember...
Wait, what do you mean I ignored you? Oh. Yeah, I always click top chat. I make it top chat and it doesn't show all the messages. That is really bad. That is YouTube's worst feature. I obviously want to see all of the messages. Why? That is such a scam. Anyway, yeah, don't say that or you're getting banned. You're getting banned instantly. Right. Let's see. Are there any other messages that I didn't eat? Sorry, what the hell? That I didn't see. I don't think so. See? See? Handmade bullshit. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one. Handmade here it is a... Bruh. Bruh, you can't be saying that. I'm not your daddy. I'm definitely not your daddy, mate.
From last time, we were at the point where we had just gotten a Win32 window up, but we had not really finished our application. And so there's some things that we have to tidy up first, and then we need to start drawing to our window the way that we actually want to start developing our own renderer, meaning something that will allow us to make our own...
By the way, while he waffles on, I need to stimulate my dopamine receptors, so...
buffer of pixels that we can write, basically our renderer any way that we want to work on, and then we need to basically give that to Windows so that it will display it in our window for us. And this won't necessarily be the most efficient way to render things on Windows, because nowadays everything goes through the 3D graphics card. But before...
The 3D graphics card, which is proprietary, and we can't even access.
Before we ever do anything involving the 3D graphics card or any of that stuff, like I said, I want to show you how to write everything...
I don't smoke.
...from scratch yourself, and so what we're going to...
How is a kickboxer going to smoke? Or any athlete for that matter.
What we're going to do first is we're going to use a slightly slower method, which is we're going to do all the rendering ourselves, and then we're going to put it to the screen. Okay, so this is sort of, in some sense, going back to the old days when this was actually how you had to write a renderer, because there really wasn't much in the way the graphics card could do for you. You wrote everything yourself to a buffer, and then you just told the graphics card, hey, this is the buffer that you need to display. And so that's basically what we're doing, and that's the first step in learning how a renderer works. Here we go. I'm going to open up Emacs. And by the way, I should say this, I hadn't said it yet in the stream, but if you are someone who has gone to the website and has pre-ordered the game, then you will actually have a zip file that looks something
This is pay to win, man.
like, where
I'm not
are
buying
they
anything.
here? Something like this. Basically, you will have a zip file that's got this stuff in it here. And what you want to do is you want to look inside your zip file, and there'll be day numbers, day 01, day 002, and so on. So if you are watching this video again sometime in the future, you will want to grab day 2, which is the day before this, unzip that, and that is the version of the source that we are starting with. So to make sure everyone's in sync, please make sure you do that before trying to follow what's going on here, because otherwise your source code will be out of date. So we've got one source file so far. It's win32handmade.cpp. And this right
I'm cooked. I'm so cooked. This zombie's gonna eat my ass, man.
here is our window callback. Now you'll remember what we did last time was we made a little message loop here, and Windows basically has a message queue for our application that it stuffs things in, and we have to pull them out one at a time, translate that.
So Windows got its own message queue, right? And then we pull that out, we put it in a buffer, which we make.
And dispatch them, and then we will get
And then we can allocate, we can make some graphics using that method.
them in our window callback. Now, we also talked a little bit in the Q&A, I believe, about why we have to have a callback at all, because if we're the people who are pulling the messages off the queue down here, well, why can't we just call whatever function we want? And the reason, as we saw in the Q&A, is because Windows reserves the right to call us back at that window callback anytime it wants to.
This is why Windows is a virus.
It does not have to do it inside this dispatch
So it's the
message.
limit.
That's the sort of mental model that they were going for, is that they call us back inside dispatch message. But of course, Windows, things get crazy, so they started having places where it calls us out of the middle of nowhere. So anytime we call into a Windows function, no matter what it is, we kind of have to be ready for it to potentially call us back in there.
Fair enough.
Okay. So what we did and where we left off is something that we don't is not really sufficient for our purposes. Basically, we had two things that we had to fix. One is that you'll notice, and those of you who tried at home, I'm going to go ahead and launch the debugger here so we can take a look at our program. So for those of you who are following along at home, you know that when you run this application, you end up in a circumstance where there is really nothing you can do
Epileptic window.
with it. You cannot close it. I mean, you can resize it and see our black-white alternating pattern that we decided to have in there just to make sure things were.
I think I can do it myself. It can't be that hard, right? For the close function, right? It's simply it should just be one command. It's like exit or something, right? Exit. Void 0. You know what? I'm gonna try it. I closed my terminal again. That is mad. Don't know why I keep on doing that. Stop doing that, man. Stop it. Get some help. Okay, so I think the exit function should work now. No way. It actually worked. Wow, I actually did something without his help. That is interesting.
For working, you can do all that, but you cannot close the window. And so really there's no way to exit this application without going back to the debugger and hitting Shift F5 or going into debug here and hitting stop debugging. And that is because we are not yet handling the close message. Okay. So in order to handle the close message properly, there's a couple things that we have to do. The first thing is we want to go back here and take a look here at the loop that we created that's pulling these get messages off. Now, if you remember, if we go back to MSDN, and we looked at this the other day, but if we go back to MSDN, the documentation for getMessage is very explicit about what's going to happen when we call it. It says, in fact, it even gives some sample code down here. It basically says that there's a possibility of a return value of 0 if the WM quit message is posted, which is basically a way of Windows telling us that it wants.
Right, Mika, you're getting banned. You're getting banned right now. You're getting banned for 5 minutes. You're cooked. Cooked, buddy. Unfortunate. Take this 5 minutes
to exit
and learn what you did wrong.
right away. But there's also the possibility of a -1, which means there was some kind of error in the get message and we should exit as well. So, given those two things, we checked for greater than 0. What that basically means is that if we want to exit this application at the moment...
The real question is, Linux, why aren't you multitasking? Your brain is made to be overstimulated by all of the dopamine in this world, man.
What we will have to do is basically get this thing to go ahead and get a WM quit message. And there's a really easy way that we can do that. We can actually tell Windows to just go ahead and post a quit message right.
Hold up a second. This thing is so useless. This potato mine, it did fuck all.
On our queue. There you go.
I should probably start writing code again. So MS close, right? So he's doing all of this stuff. Post quit message 0. All I did was exit, and that successfully exited the application.
Now, if you take a look at post quit message in MSDN, again, always get you.
Bro just decided to be honest in the chat. Thanks for your honesty.
And by the way, I'll mention one other thing that someone wrote in and told me about that's pretty important. When you go to MSDN, we have not had this happen on the live stream, but somebody had it happen at home, where sometimes it'll come up with the documentation for Windows Mobile or something. And the reason that you care about that is because the documentation that we want has stuff like this in it, which says which version of the desktop Windows you want to use.
Okay, Unc.
In order to support it, right? So we need to know that information, and we also need to know, I said that poorly. It says what the minimum supported desktop version is, so we know what our game can ship on, minimally. So Windows 2000 Professional is the earliest thing we could ship on. No problem there. No one's using anything before XP these days. But you also have the library and the DLL name here, which we need to use to resolve unresolved symbols, and we saw that in the previous stream. So make sure you are actually looking at the desktop version of Windows, which should say here, if you're not seeing things like minimum supported client Windows 2000 Professional or some other desktop version, then you need to make sure that you can switch to that. And I think you use the desktop technologies here, develop desktop. I don't know. MSDN changes so frequently, it's hard to say. Hopefully sometime during the stream we'll have the mobile one come up and I can sort of fuss around with it and get us to the right place. But there you go. All right, so post quit message basically posts an exit code as part of the quit message, and the exit code is just something that if we were posting this quit message in some kind of an error situation, it's basically just a way that we can sneak a little numeric value into that quit message. And if you look at the quit message, WM quit, it's basically a thing here that just is opaque to us. But when we do that post quit message, we'll be able to get this exit code back out if we really wanted it. Now we don't care about any of this stuff because we're a game, and games don't interact with Windows in hardly at all, basically. But if we did care, we would start to think about, oh, do we need to pass error codes back and all these sorts of things. We don't care about that at all. All we want to do is post a WM quit message in response to WM close so that we will fall out of this loop. Now there's two things we could have done here. And I will show you how to do the second one as well, because it's probably a little more proper, even though, again, as a game, we don't really care. So let me compile that. Let's go ahead in here, and we'll go ahead and set a breakpoint on that line. Here's our handle.
I did it again. I closed command prompt. Why do I keep doing this to myself? At least I'm gonna memorize the exact commands from now on. So his method works, my method works, same thing.
Handmade Hero app, when I close it, you will notice we get this post quit message. And when I hit F10 to step over that, I'm going to set another breakpoint down here just so we can see. When I go ahead and step over that, it has now posted that WM quit in our queue. And what we will find is that eventually now we will actually get that WM quit message, so this message result will come back as false eventually. Now remember, there's other messages in this queue, so it won't come back right away. But after a while, when we hit F5, we will get into a situation that message result is in fact false or 0, and we hit our break. Break breaks us out of the infinite for loop, which is this guy right here, and it ends the program. Now you may be asking me, or ready to ask me, or if you are one of those people out there who is very, very C++ focused or object-oriented focused, you may be having a fit right now. And that is okay. I apologize for that. I hope that it does not cause you too much mental anguish, but you will be upset because you will know.
Post quit message just makes sure that the next event Windows fires off is the WM quit message, which allows you to handle something before the app actually closes, such as, are you sure you want to quit? Oh, JTAG. That actually just gave me a brilliant idea. I'm actually going to implement exactly what you just said. Okay, let's hope this works. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. H, handle to a window. Oh, window handle, okay. I'll do this. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, let's hope this works. Oh, no way. It worked. Okay, now if I press the X button, it should pop up with a message box. Fuck, did it pop up with a message box? Okay. I'll try the A method, or EX. Okay, I'll try the EX method. I need to compile it again, you melon. Alright, let's try that. Okay, I've got an idea. 116 lines of code. Okay. Or saving the game state. Yeah, good. Good idea. Message box. Let's see. Win32 API. Handle to the window, LP text. Let's see. The message box has no window. Okay, we don't actually need a window owner. For now, for testing purposes. The message to be displayed. Yeah, let's do that. The dialog box title. Oh, okay. Okay. And a new int. I think that's what's giving me the error. The content and behavior of the dialog box. The parameter can be a combination of the flag of the following group of flags. To indicate the buttons displayed in the message box, specify one of the following values. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Let's do yes, no. Let's do that. MB, yes, no. So I think that's just an alias for something. So 00, so it's a hex value, I think. 4L, what's that? I thought hex only goes up to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It only goes up to H, right? It doesn't do it because where you put WM quit, it needs to be a case in the switch. Oh my days. Such a silly Billy, man. I am such a silly Billy. Luckily, I got some smart people in the chat. Anyway, this should work. Yes! It works! I did that. I did that myself. I did that myself, man. I'm ready to become a millionaire. I'm ready to become a non-taxpayer. I don't pay taxes anyway. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Now I wonder, does it return a message? If it returns a message, then what does it return? Let's see. So I need to check if it's yes or no. Return value in. So I need to check in. So it's an int. Right. Int quit box, quit message box equals boom. Now we can do if quit message box is yes. How do I check if it's yes? Check if it's a yes, brother. I think MBS or just yes. No. Don't know. The yes button was selected. Oh, that's it. Okay. So it's IDS. Oh, actually, I'll do ID no. Yeah. Oh, well. I've got an idea. Hold up, let me cook. Dun, dun, dun. Young fly on the track. I'm gonna reassign it the same value. Yeah, thing, right? So, yeah, so we're reassigning it. Boom, boom. All right, let's test this out. I meant to recompile it first. Okay. Oh, I meant to do the opposite. I meant to do this. Okay. Okay. Now I've successfully made a virus. Now, yes, that's what I wanted. And then we'll do if quit message box is equal to ID no, then we'll simply continue and we'll continue the for loop. So that should be the functionality fully done at that point. but I want to do something extra, right? So, oh, I can't use STD. Sending that to the UK government. Don't bother, mate. I'm under 18. Don't gonna pay any taxes anyway. You're gonna move your message box code into an actual handler inside the switch statement, like your WM size, or else it will always run when there is no message. Yeah, I get that. I'm just doing this for testing purposes, for fun. I'm gonna delete this section of code in a minute. I just wanna do a bit of experimenting. I wanna see if I can. How can I make it like a dynamic character array? How to make a dynamic character array without std string. I can use the new operator. Okay, let's do that. Car, you sure, equals new car. So we're size, but I don't know what the size is. To allocate the required numbers, I'll just do that. 10,000 bytes, that might be enough. Okay, and then how do I add to the array? That's the question. How do I add to the array, man? I have this array. How do I add characters to it? I like going in raw, so this is perfect code for me. Young fly on the track. AB. Okay. So int pos is 0. Else. And then we'll do actually I'm just gonna test if this works first of all. I didn't explain what I'm doing to you guys. I'll explain it in a second. No, it doesn't work. You should. Oh, because there's nothing there. How can I assign it something? Right. Else, we got. You sure? You sure? A position pos +4 equals. Oh well, that's 6 characters at this point. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna give me an overflow error. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, actually, no, I forgot to put a semicolon. Int size of 4 bytes. What integer are you talking about? HMRC will send you a little letter. HMRC doesn't even know where I live. 10 kilobyte buffer. Sheesh. Do I even have enough RAM for that? Yeah, I got enough. Got enough, man. Bareback sea, yeah. Into car. Bruh. Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay. How can I add more than just a to it? Oh, do I gotta write each letter of the word? I have to write each. Mem CPY. This is getting weird. You sure plus mem CPY. Okay. Basically, I want to put the title of the dialogue boxes. You sure, you sure, you sure, you sure, you sure, infinitely. So, yeah. Mem CPY. I've never seen this function in my life before. It was not declared in this scope. I'm pretty sure it was. It's right there. You can just do conskar, you sure, you sure. Alright. There's definitely a different way. It's just that clanker being dumb. Hmm. Right, back to it. So, what is it? Expected initializer before string length. Maybe string length doesn't exist. Oh, I forgot the equals sign. My bad. Let's try that again. Okay, good. It compiled perfectly. Let's try it. Main.exe. No. It works. Yes. It works. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It actually works. Oh, this is sick. Alright. You sure you wanna go? Alright. Handmade virus. Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm gonna give this to my dad. I'm gonna make him like download this on his computer. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna show him. Look at this new app I made, mate. That's pretty cool. You know what? I think I'm gonna put my new creation in the server. Did I just see pink? What pink are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with colors. What pink are you talking about? Mika, are you waffling again? Are you talking just to consume some air? I'm thirsty. There was pink in File Explorer. What are you talking about? What, this? My theme. I've always had it that color. You're only like 8 years old, man. It's fine. Right. Well, did it even upload? It did, yeah. There we are. We got our first real life play tester. Got Jamie in the chat. All right. If anyone finds any bugs within this code, I'll pay them £10. Nah, I'll pay them £1,000 if you can find any errors in my app. What's this? What is bro talking about? Anyway, so basically, what we're gonna do now is remove that clanker. We don't need that guy anymore. Let's see Gabe write some x64 assembly. I'm alright. I don't need my head to explode currently. Stedj means delete. Alright, let's get back to
Note
this.
that I did not close my...
Actually, I didn't finish my game, so... I did not mean to load that up. One second, guys. I need my dopamine hit. Oh, look at that fat guy. He's gonna blow my ass up. I can't believe I just said that. Yeah. Ooh, what a massive round that was. Ooh, bro, this is like the dragons from Harry Potter. Shoot peace in 3 lanes. Now, if that isn't a threesome, I don't know what that is. Okay, we'll go back here. Right. Now I think I unlocked mini games. I did. Okay, good. Right, what's this? Slot machine. Oh yes, we go gambling, boys. Let's go. We got gambling in the chat. You know, I fully support gambling. Let's see. Pull handle for new seeds. Give me all seeds. Get 2,000 sun. Oh yes. Oh guys. Oh damn. Alright. Let's see if we can get 2,000 sun. Come on, man. I'm gonna lose over here. Oh shit, I'm actually dead. Come on. Come on. Put it all on red. Put it all on red right now. Come on, we need to get that 2,000 sun. Ooh, we got 3 of a kind. See? This is why you never quit. Real gamblers never quit. Professionals never quit pulling the handle. Let's keep going. We got that. Good. Ooh. Look at that. Imagine we get a 3 diamonds in a row. I'm actually gonna kiss Mika, I can't lie. I shouldn't have put that there. It's alright. I'll just gamble faster. Bro, spamming please in the chat. That's crazy. Wow. Come on. I need to make an auto clicker so I can gamble faster. Come on, man. Let's do this. Put it all on red. We need to go a bit faster than this. Bruv, stop. Oh, I just hit the jackpot. Oh, that's kinky right there. Mika, stop spamming. I'm gonna have to ban you. Oh, yes. Let's go. It's a bit loud, mate. It's a bit loud. Come on. No one's getting kissed. Yeah, I'm gonna pause that. I'm losing viewer attention. So let's get back to this.
My window. Now, one of the things that people like to do a lot in object-oriented programming languages is they like to make sure that they always have completely symmetric construction and destruction, or acquisition and release of their resources. And
yes, this is a C++ concept known as Ray. Resource. Was it? Resource is acquisition, or something. Anyway.
And what that means is that every time you
resource allocation is acquisition. Oh, what was it? Resource acquisition is initialization. That's what I said.
Make something, such as create window EX, where we made a window, or register window class, where we registered a window class, you want to make sure that if there is some way to clean that up, that you do so. They do that even if there is no need to clean it up. Now, I would love to rag on people who do that. I'd love to say some
Mika, are you even allowed to be on the YouTube platform? I swear you have to be 13 years old to be on this platform.
Disparaging things right now, but here's the honest truth. I was one of those people. I was one of those people for a good probably 3 years of my life, and I wrote code like that all the time. It's the only way I programmed. Everything was written exactly that way. Some people call it resource acquisition is initialization. Other people might just think of it as having everything wrapped in a class with a constructor and a destructor. There's a lot of different methodologies that sort of have this same thing at their core, but they all boil down to that same thing. And so they would never want me to do something like creating a window that I had no plans for destroying. But later on, as I programmed more and started to ship a lot more real-world applications and cared about performance a lot and cared about a lot of things that I didn't care about or know about during the times when I programmed like that, basically what I found is that that is a really bad way to program. And the reason is because it is almost...
Whoa. Did this guy just say object-oriented programming is a bad way of programming? I gotta listen to what he says.
Always the case that things are better acquired and released in aggregate. And what that means is that instead of thinking about things individually, you always think of them as part of a group that gets handled together. And that is the way to think about things. And what that means
This guy is a liar.
Is you can't be myopic and look just, you know what? The tea wasn't doing it. You were asking me about cheating on my almond milk with the tea. The tea wasn't doing it. We're switching to the almond milk.
You know what? I rate the almond milk. Yeah, Casey really doesn't like OOP, but that's from years of him seeing juniors write bad OOP nested in multiple layers of inheritance. He's clearly just traumatized, it seems.
There it is. All right. Sorry for the interruption. It has to happen now and again. Anyway, what you need to do is stop looking at things in that myopic way that focuses on the individual creation and destruction of one resource and start thinking about creation and destruction and acquisition and releasing in waves. Now, you don't have to worry about that too much because we're going to...
When he means in waves, it's like when you're handling streams and buffers, right? You flush the buffer in waves, and you fill the buffer in waves as well. You don't do it one by one. You fill it up and then you let it go all at once. I think that's what he's saying.
We're going to be getting into those sorts of things a lot more later when we have a lot more resources to deal with. But right now, the reason that I wanted to bring it up is because what we're doing right here is we're creating this window. Now, we know that as long as our game is running, we are going to leave this window.
I just realized he has create window exa and I just have create window ex. I wonder what's the difference if I do this. What would be the difference? Okay, I'm now getting green. Oh, it doesn't actually show up on my stream. On the stream it's just black and white, but I can actually see it's visibly green. Bro, this virus program, man.
Created, and if we ever do destroy it for any reason, we're going to recreate it right back again right immediately. And the reason is because we can't display our game without a window. So we know as long as the game's running, there's a window. When we exit this application, Windows will bulk clean up all of our windows, all of our handles, all of our memory. Everything gets cleaned up by Windows. So if we actually put in code that closes our window before we exit, we are wasting the user's time. I know it sounds strange to say it that way, but that is the truth.
Bro thinks that if we use up 0.0002 milliseconds of the user's time, it's a waste. Like, do you think our users are going to be that much of a high-profile person that they're going to need to save those milliseconds?
True. If you've ever had one of those applications where you try to close it and it takes a while to close down and you're like, what is going on? All I asked you to do is close. Well, honestly, a big cause of that is this sort of thing. It's thinking it has to go through and free all its resources manually and tidy everything up, when in reality, a lot of those things, if they had been thought about as in terms of waves, it would have closed like that. Just something to think about. Again, I apologize to object-oriented programmers out there who are having a fit right now. What can I say? I'm
Programmers hate this one trick to save time. Mika, shush. Shush your mush, man.
Sorry, that's just not the way I can code. All right. So we are letting our window die. The reason I said there's a little bit of an oddity here is because we handled the WM close message and not the WM destroy message. We left the WM destroy message floating, sort of blowing in the breeze, if you will. And so if you want to be a little more appropriate or a little more clean here, you could do something like this, where you pass both of them. Or if you want to satisfy even the sort of try to tidy everything up sort of way of doing things, you could even call destroy window, which closes your window and kills it right here. Or you can do something even more pernicious.
So he's in the WM close, but he's destroying window in WM close instead of WM destroy. If you're putting destroy in WM close, what are you going to put in WM destroy?
And it is probably, honestly, what I am going to recommend that we do.
Oh, I just realized. I think close is when you minimize it, and destroy is when you press the X button. I didn't think of that. Oh, I didn't know we had this functionality. Cool. Hello, Buzzer3083. Hey man, I went through Handmade here myself. Good luck on your adventure. I'll be sure to check out now and then. Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for the nice comment. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's pretty fun so far. Like the Windows 32, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Like, it's not too many annoying things so far with it.
Which is that
was a joke. Everything's annoying.
We are going to instead talk about actually having a variable that controls the loop down at the bottom so that it will exit on its own. So basically what we're going to do here is inside our statement that used to be an infinite loop, we are basically just going to say while we are running. And this will give us a global Boolean flag that we can go ahead and kill anytime we want to. And we're going to talk about this in one quick second. But basically what we're going to do here, actually I'm going to initialize and destruction and act.
All right, well, it is 9 o'clock. I need to go do my bedtime routine and that. So let's do my nighttime routine.
Programmed like that.
So that's going to be the end of this stream. I'll continue it when the next stream schedule is. Thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate you all coming by. Yeah. Yeah, Baldy says goodbye. Peace. Yeah, peace, J-Tag, yeah. I'm actually so dehydrated. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Come back. When's the next stream? You know, I'm just gonna... You've got no proof that I'd give you money. Right. Next stream, Sunday. Oof. Oof. That's a long way away. I actually don't have time on Friday or Saturday to stream, so it is what it is, man. Mika, $20 is $20. $20, man. Right. I will be up. I did record 2 videos, actually. I recorded 2 videos today. I just need to edit them and upload it. So make sure you have post notifications on. Yeah, to check them out. Good night, kiss. Niet. Niet. Nu e posibil. Nu că mie îmi plac femeile. Nu-mi plac bărbații, nu. Ce să zic, ok. Noapte bună. Bonne nuit. Okay, after those comments, I'm gonna leave now. Good night. No, I don't want to say good night. Good night. Good night.